everybody, and welcome to this week's Cruise Chat. I'm Kathleen Penner, owner of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, and today I'm joined by Hilary, and Hilary is from Avalon, as you can see. Now, she's not going to be showing her face on this video. She's got a little bit of an injury, and nobody wants to see that. I'm sure that she's very embarrassed, so we're just going to be talking to her, and we will hear her lovely voice instead of seeing the face today. I do have a playlist with Avalon, if you want to go back and look at that. I've had the pleasure to meet with Hilary, I think at least 4 times, I believe.
I believe so, Kathleen, yes.
If not more, but go back and look at that when we're done, because there's some really great content there. But today we're going to be covering some really exciting topics. So I'm just going to turn it over to Hilary.
Thank you, Kathleen, and thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. As Kathleen had mentioned, yes, I am from Avalon Waterways. I've been with the company for 19 years. So great. I'm looking forward to sharing all what we have with Avalon today. As Kathleen had mentioned, we've spoken about Avalon in the past, and today she's actually wanted me to speak about Paris to Normandy's landings, which is one of our top itineraries. It's an amazing itinerary. However, just before I get to that part, I thought I'd just share a little bit about Avalon Waterways in case there is anyone new joining us today.
Yes.
So Avalon Waterways, we're the youngest fleet on the water. Our average age is 8 years. We don't refurbish our ships, rebuild our ships, or we only build new ships. We go over 80 cruises, 10 rivers, the Rhine, the Moselle, the Danube, the Seine, just to name a few. And again, we go over 20 countries. So there is a wide variety of all product. We have cruises from 5 cruises, 5 nights up to 21 nights. So there's a great choice there as well. But as I mentioned, today we're really going to focus on Paris to Normandy's landings. However, why sail with Avalon Waterways? Well, it's a floating boutique hotel. You don't have to pack every 2 nights. You're with the same people at all times. There are no crowds. The average size on our ships is maximum 150 passengers. You're close to shore, so there's no big ships. There's no ocean cruising there, so you'll never have seasickness. If you've got the all-inclusive value of all your meals included, and I'll go through that in the next couple of slides. And again, everybody that is on this itinerary, all cruisers are the same minded travelers as you, which is great. So you're really going to be able to share your experiences with everyone, meet new friends for life, which is amazing as well. And then, of course, you know, there's great promotions going out there. So it's great for any traveler out there. Our minimum age is the age of 8. And of course, it's great for singles as well.
Yes.
So all ships are built the same with width and height, right, Kathleen? So the great thing about Avalon Waterways, the innovative design, is that we've actually pushed the walls out to have our 200 square foot staterooms, 11 by 7 fully open air balcony, which allows us to have fewer passengers, more space on board. You know, and the great thing about Avalon Waterways, Kathleen, is that the beds are facing the view. Not much to look at when you're staring at a wall. But again, history happened by the water. So great to see all that when the beds are facing the view.
Yeah,
With the beds
and I mean,
facing,
who wouldn't want to wake up to that view? That's just incredible. Like you said, you don't want to wake up to a wall. You want to wake up to looking at, you know, the rivers of Europe and all of the neat architecture. I think it's a great way that you did that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's one of Avalon's innovative designs. And as you said, you know, what do you look if we're going to turn that bed around, just to imagine it right now, what are you looking at, right? Compared to out there. And I guess the staterooms are fully open, 11 by 7. So you'll have that full open view, really letting the outside in as well. Our bathrooms are marble bathrooms, L'Occitane products. Again, the great thing about our staterooms as well is that when we've pushed the walls out, that actually enlarges our bathroom as well. So we have a larger bathroom just on our river cruises as well. So this is, as I mentioned, all ships are built the same with river cruising. With width and height, the ships are built for the locks and the bridges. So right here, this is an Avalon ship on the left-hand side going through the lock. So you can imagine when you have a balcony that actually takes away from your stateroom. So
Mhm.
again, what Avalon Waterways has done is push that wall out to have that full 11 by 7 open air balcony with the bed facing the view. And you can see how we've enlarged the bathroom right here. We are actually 30% larger than the industry when we've done this innovative design as well. So just to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Thank you. It's the little things that Avalon Waterways has, our L'Occitane product, Lavazza coffee at the front and the back of the ship, as well as pillow choice. You can have that. And of course, we have the state-of-the-art equipment. I always say it's a least used room, but we do have the state-of-the-art equipment in our gym. And again, there's no matter where you're on board, you'll always have plenty to eat with breakfast, lunches, and dinner. We have room service now available, which is new to us for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we're very happy about that. But as I said, there's many, many choices of a menu as well as a venue when it comes to Avalon Waterways.
Yeah, and I think that's new because I think the last time we met, you could just get a continental breakfast, or like a coffee or something.
That's exactly correct.
So, yeah, and now it's a full breakfast. That's amazing. I love that.
Yes, and a new, we're really proud to say that we also now have seating. It used to be open seating at 7 p.m. We now have open seating from 7 until 8:30 p.m. So if you're anything like me, enjoy French fries at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then you can come down and have dinner with me at 8:30 in the evening. So again, there's been a few changes, all for the positive.
Oh, I love that.
And then also complimentary wine and beer included with lunch and dinner, and of course sparkling wine in the morning. But it's regional wines, Kathleen. So again, it's my husband and I fell in love with a bottle Côte d'Aron, and it's $22 at the LCBO. And I'm really happy to say, in the past, we've always had happy hour from 5:45 to 6:45 during our port talk. However, happy hour is now on us as of March the 1st. So we're really happy to share that as well. So again, a lot of new positive changes with Avalon Waterways.
That's great. Wow.
And of course, wherever you sit, there's always a place to sit. When it comes to on board, we have our panorama lounges. We have our lounges in the back and the front of the ship. As I mentioned, complimentary coffee and tea throughout the day, fruit and juices, and of course, complimentary Wi-Fi on board as well. We have 7 routers, so you'll never have an issue reaching out and sharing those pictures with your family while you're away. And then, of course, we have our adventure center where you can sign out Nordic walking sticks, Fitbits, bicycles. And then, of course, our Avalon Adventure host is there to guide you with maybe a Zumba class, a Pilates class, maybe, help you with a map when you sign out those bicycles, as well as some of them actually go on our active excursions as well. And of course, 30 days prior, please don't forget to download our apps and you will get your e-documents, your day-by-day itinerary on there. Everything you need is on that app. Yes. And then when it comes to Avalon Waterways, it's all about choice. Kathleen, no matter what product you sell, every client of yours is a different type of client. Everyone has their own travel styles, correct?
Absolutely. Yes, definitely.
So when it comes to Avalon Waterways, there's always a choice with these excursions that are included. You have your classic, which is your must-see sites. You have your active, maybe, canoeing down the Danube, paddling down the Rhine, taking a hiking tour, a biking tour. And then we have our discovery, which is more engaging, learning to paint a Monet or Van Gogh, cooking classes in Vienna, making schnitzel, potato salad strudel, all at the same time enjoying wine. So there's always an option. So Kathleen, if we're on the same itinerary, for example, Paris to Normandy's landings, you want to do a classic tour, I'm going to do a discovery tour. We'll meet up, we'll have lunch, and then enjoy the rest of the day together. So again, we can be on the exact same itinerary and have a completely different experience.
Which is actually perfect if you're traveling with a group, because then you can all go back and talk about all your different experiences and what you took away from that. And I really like that you could do that.
Oh, absolutely. And again, even within family, my husband and I, we don't like the same thing, right? So, it's great for everyone to have that option and really enjoy their own tour being with their family and friends. All right, so that's really, again, we've gone into a lot more detail on Avalon Waterways, as you had mentioned. Your clients can go into review those sorry.
Yeah, go back and look at that playlist and see all the neat content that's there. Absolutely. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. But today we're really going to focus on Paris to Normandy's landings. And one thing I want to mention as well is with all our offices, of course, your clients are we have 57 offices worldwide. However, your clients are dealing with a Canadian office. We're based in Toronto, Canadian dollars, Canadian pricing, and even if there's a promo on file, Kathleen, all your clients need is a deposit of $250 to secure that promo, and then your clients don't pay until 90 days prior to departure.
Which is
so again,
really good.
And that's a great thing, because we all want to travel, we all want to tour, and we think, gosh, that's a lot of money up front for any. And it's not even river cruising. It could be, coach touring, river cruising. It's maybe an all-inclusive. We think, okay, are we ready to put that final payment down right now? 90 days prior, which is really right around the corner from your vacation. So again, and then as well as with those 57 offices, I really wanted to mention that when dealing with a Canadian office, with Paris to Normandy's landings, even if we have one Canadian on board, we will take them to Juno Beach.
Oh, good. Oh, that's lovely. Good personalized attention. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think that's really key, because we know that, Canadians really want to go and see what they can within the Canadian wars, right? With Juno Beach. So again, let's go through a day-by-day itinerary. And I thought this is the best way to really share this itinerary with our Paris to Normandy's landings. And of course, Paris, your day one is your embarkation. And the great thing about Avalon Cruises as well is that the itinerary that we're looking at right now is Paris to Paris. However, you can actually add a pre or a post with this cruise. So you can do cruise only, or you can add a pre and post with one of our hotels. And we are part of the Globus family of brands. We've been in the business for 95 years. And the hotel that we use is Superior First Class Product Centrally Located Hotels. Yes, we use the Metropols, the Sheratons, the Hyatts. However, we do not focus on chain. We focus on Superior First Class Product Centrally Located Hotels. Yes. So, of course, beautiful Eiffel Tower here, right? And the Riverway. So day one is, of course, in Paris, your embarkation. So bien the vue en France. This is where your sweet ship is ready for boarding. And another wonderful feature about Avalon Waterways as well is that when you travel, whether you're doing an air inclusive with us, and when you're doing air inclusive with us, we include the transfers, or if, maybe clients have points or have their own air, they can also come to our ship. Their stateroom will not be available until 4 p.m. However, we want your clients to feel home away from home. They can have something to eat, something to drink, put their feet up, leave their luggage, rather than waiting in a hotel and waiting and waiting and waiting. And the more we wait, the more tired we get. So again, we take you directly to the ship, as I said, so you can, feel more relaxed.
Yeah. Plus, there's all that excitement there. I mean, you're ready to get that vacation started, right? So
absolutely.
Tour the ship, eat some of the delicious food, and just get everything kicked off right.
That's exactly the right point there, Kathleen, is, start your vacation the right way, right? So your day is free here to explore the world's most romantic city, which we're staring at, Paris, before your cruise on the Seine. You'll get acquainted with the City of Lights today, with shopping, strolling, or even maybe a croissant and a cafe au lait to watch the world go by amid the Parisian cityscapes. And then this evening, overnight, we're going to cruise to Vernon, and dinner will be included. So when it's with Avalon Waterways, all your meals are included: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then, of course, we mentioned wine and beer. The regional wine and beers are also included as well. So here, day 2, we're in Vernon. This is Monet's Muses, the castle courtyards, and the crepes du jour. You're really going to start your day with a morning stretch with Avalon host, as I mentioned. And this is I'm going to kind of go through the classic, the discovery, and the active excursions because, this is really, I wanted to give a day in a life with Avalon Waterways as we go through this itinerary. So as I mentioned, you can have a choice. So your choice is you can either take a classic tour, which would be taking a guided tour of Giverny, a home of inspiration of the master impression painter Claude Monet. You can walk the grounds and see Monet's charming residence and the flower and water gardens captured in his masterpieces. Or, again, your choice, you can take another classic tour and you can join a guided visit to Busy Castle, of course, called Normandy's Versailles, for its magnificent courtyard, water greens, or stables. Or you can discover, while sailing, enjoy a traditional French luncheon of authentic French crepes, followed by a pastry demonstration. And then in the afternoon, you're really going to enjoy a beautiful cruise to the picturesque town of Les Andelys. And then you also get a choice of tour as well there. So in Les Andelys, you're going to, of course, the serenity of the Seine's most beautiful river bends. This is where you're also going to have a choice. You can take a classic excursion where you can take a guided walking tour of Les Andelys, one of France's most picturesque spots on the Seine. Or you can join an active excursion, which is joining a guided hike up the castle ruins of Chateau Galad, the historic home of King Richard the Lionheart. So again, lots of choices there. So, the great thing about that is, Kathleen, as I said, you can take a classic, I can take an active, vice versa. Then we're going to come back and we're going to share our pictures. We're going to share history. So you're never really missing anything either, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's really good. Yeah, that's a neat point because then you can kind of share and say, well, I learned this about the area. And then the other person fills in the blanks that weren't on that one so that you get this whole complete picture together.
Exactly. And then, of course, this evening we're going to overnight cruise to Caudebec. So here I just wanted to show some beautiful pictures as well of Giverny Garden. Absolutely beautiful looking through the gardens. And it's a magnificent site, very picturesque. And then, of course, we have Chateau Galad. Again, this is one of your choices as well that you can walk up and do the excursions. And then day 3, we are in Caudebec. And this is, again, you have a choice of 3 excursions here. And Caudebec is really, it's about churches, cherry orchids, and white cliffs of Normandy. Absolutely stunning. And this is where you get your choice. You can have you have a choice of 2 actives or 1 classic. So your first active is joining your Avalon Adventure host, who we spoke about earlier, for a morning jog in Normandy's town of Caudebec. And the great thing about, honestly, you think, oh my gosh, I can't do a jog. I can't do a run. And here, listen to the word morning jog. They go as slow as the slowest person. And I say that because I actually did active and discovery on the Danube, and I went and did a jogging tour through Vienna. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm a jogger. I'm not a runner. I go further distances because I go slower.
Right.
And as I said, the guide went as slow as the slowest person, which was me. So you never felt out of place at all. And it's not that you're, and they stop, the Avalon Adventure host will stop and share all the quaint sights and, little bits of nooks and crannies of what you get to know as well. So there's a wonderful experience. Or you can take the classic choice, which is taking a guided trip along the Normandy's Abbey's route, where more than 100 medieval Benedictine and Augustine abbeys and churches were built along the Seine. Or about that active excursion is in really enjoying the natural wonders of the fascinating Marais Vanier, the wetlands of the half-day guided nature walk on an outskirts of Caudebec. So there's a real choice of options there as well. You can take a jog. You can, as I said, you can take the classic guided tour from Normandy's Abbey's route, or you can take the just, you know, a nature walk. So again, there's a choice for absolutely everyone. And then this afternoon, you may choose a guided optional excursion. And there's not a lot of optional excursions because, as I mentioned, every day we include a city site. So, but this one in Côte-de-Bec, you can choose a guided option excursion to the oldest seaside town of Honfleur. And then we're going to overnight in Côte-de-Bec here.
Okay.
And then again, I really wanted to show some pictures of all the itineraries, the excursions. So here, as I mentioned, we have the guided optional excursion to the old seaside town of Honfleur. That's where you would have the optional excursion there as well. Beautiful.
Yes. Oh, goodness. Wow. And I just want to say, for any of you that are listening to this on the Cruising the Waves podcast and you want to go and see these images, head on over to our YouTube channel, Plenty of Sunshine Travel on YouTube, and you can see these amazing images that Hilary is sharing with us.
Thank you, Kathleen. And then on day 4, I mean, right here, we're looking at Normandy's landing beaches. And this is, you know, this is where we're going to have the excursion to Normandy. And as I mentioned, you know, even if we have the Canadian on board, we will take them to the Juno Beach. So here you have a choice again. And this is where you're going to, this is, you know, this is where really history happened, right? And in Normandy. So the excursion to Normandy, you're going to have 3 classic choices on today's day 4 in Côte-de-Bec. So one is you're going to join a guided tour of Normandy's World War II landing beaches, visit the significant U.S. sites, including Omaha Beach, the Pointe du Hoc Monument, and the American cemeteries. Or, as I mentioned, you can take a full day guided tour of the British and the Canadian commemorative sites, including the British Cemetery, Pegasus Memorial, the seaside town of Amaranches, Juno Beach Center, you know, as well as Benny-sur-Mer Canadian War Cemetery as well. This is a day, a very emotional day. You know,
and it's certainly with good reason. It's a very heavy day, but it's an important day to remember the history too.
Absolutely. And I, as I said, I've taken this tour, Paris to Normandy's landings, and, you know, it really takes you to, you know, it's almost like a yin yang. You're standing right at the beaches and you could see, because they still have many, for us not to forget, they have many items, you know, war memoriam in the waters where people, you know, we were fighting. And you don't want to forget that. At the same time, you're looking at this beautiful beaches where everybody's having a coffee, a drink, ice cream, you know, swimming in the water. As I said, you've got from past to future how it's changed so much, but we shall not forget, but we shall live on, right? It's a very emotional day. It's a beautiful day. Definitely a day to remember as well. And then your other classic choices, you can take a taste of the Normandy, which is a guided tour in an in-depth look at the rich agriculture region, see the famous Bayeux tapestry, visit the beautiful villages of Beuvron en Auge, and taste Calvados in the local distillery. So, and then later in the evening, we're really going to, you know, it's been an emotional day that we want you to enjoy the rest of the day. And we're going to bring live entertainment on board the ship for the clients as well. And then we're going to cruise into Rouen. So let's go and see just a couple of pictures. So of course, you know, Pegasus Bridge Memorial, Pointe du Hoc. And then, of course, in day 5, Rouen. And this is, you know, the Cathedral of Notre Dame and the heroine for France. And this is where you have a classic excursion, taking a guided walk tour of Rouen, site of Saint Jean of Arc's Notre-Dame, where you'll see the medieval quarter with its 16th century astronomical clock and Notre Dame Cathedral. And you're really going to enjoy an onboard entertainment before setting sail in the evening. And then, of course, this evening, we are going to enjoy a overnight cruise to Conflans. So again, some beautiful Cathedral of Notre Dame. And then day 6 in Conflans, this is where you're going to have 2 classic itinerary choices. Conflans is really the footsteps of Van Gogh and of course Louis the 15th. So this is you're going to join a guided visit to Auvers-sur-Oise, the home of the resting place of Vincent van Gogh. Or you can take a classic guided tour, Chateau de Malmaison, the home of Napoleon, and his wife Josephine as well. And perhaps this is, again, we're on day 6. So we're going to have another guided optional excursion where you can go and visit the Palace of Versailles, which of course is the home of succession of the French kings. But we're on day 6, and I've only mentioned 2 optional excursions. As I mentioned, every day includes a city tour. We try to include as much as we can, but of course we can't include everything. So on day 6, you only have 2 extra excursions that you can choose from as well, which is wonderful. And then, of course, Auvers-sur-Oise, of course, here. And then, as I mentioned, Versailles, of course, where the hall of the mirrors, right? So again, absolutely beautiful. Versailles is stunning. The gardens are absolutely gorgeous.
And I love the blue with the pop of gold right across the building. That really just makes it stand out to that gorgeous sky with not a cloud to be seen. It's just gorgeous. Oh my goodness.
I never really looked at it that way, but you're absolutely right.
And I love old architecture, so I'm just drawn to that. It's just stunning to me.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. It's just again, it's looking to think of, like, again, there's so much history. I truly believe that every building tells a story. It's unbelievable, right? It's just a way to learn and really, what's the word? Really, not only learn the history, but be in history, right?
Yeah,
really get into experience.
Absolutely.
Yes, immerse, exactly.
Wow.
So, and then of course on day 7, we're now back in Paris, where we again have our cafes, our cathedrals, our canvases. Really, the city of lights really truly shines here. And then we have 3 choice excursions here. We have 2 classic and 1 active. And the active excursion, you can take a morning walk with your Avalon Adventure host again to see Paris at first light. And it's a morning walk. Why not go and enjoy it's just really, the adventure host is there, not taking anything away from our cruise directors, but really getting you to go out and experience the product in a way that we wouldn't any other way, right? So a morning walk, who would not do that with the sun shining and, as the windows are opening and the doors are opening, smelling all the cafes with the baked croissants and all the pastries and enjoying a latte, as I mentioned. So that's an option, or you can take a classic excursion. And remember, Kathleen, these are all included, as I mentioned.
Right.
So you can discover the ancient heart of Paris on a captivated guided walk featuring Palais Royal, the Louvre, the Pyramid of Ancient Sites, of course, Ile de Cité, which is the left bank, the bustling Latin Quarter, and much, much more. Or again, you could take a guided sightseeing tour that shows you the iconic sites of Paris, such as, again, the Louvre Museum, the Arc de Triomphe, the Eiffel Tower, the Opera Garnier, the famous Champs-Élysées, really getting to stroll through Paris on your own, or linger over wine in a literary cafe on the left bank. I mean, there's just so many options that you can enjoy. But again, they're all including sites, must-see sites.
Absolutely. That's incredible.
And then, of course,
to have that feast of the senses as the stores are opening and you're just seeing and smelling, and it'd be amazing.
Right? It actually makes me want to go make some pastries right now and enjoy it and have a cafe latte. That's what we need to do next, Kathleen, and have this in person at a cafe. We should do this together. Really get that experience for us.
Yeah, as we're eating our croissant, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So, and then of course tonight we're gonna overnight docking in Paris, and of course
Mhm.
just some pictures, the Louvre, which is a must see, Champ de Mars.
Mm.
And then as well, you know, you're in Paris overnight here. So
Mhm.
now why not go see Paris at night as well? So that's
Yeah.
another option as well. And of course the Arc de Triomphe, beautiful you know, of course,
Mhm.
and then after breakfast, and then your cruise ends after breakfast this morning, so you really get to enjoy a full day in Paris,
Great.
and then on day 8 is your day of disembarkation. So
Yeah.
we are on the ship, but as I mentioned, you can always go off and you know, I shouldn't say go off, you can always add a pre and post as well, if you really want to see more of Paris. But you've got 3 full days in Paris, which is a great option with
That
this
is, yeah.
itinerary.
And I think one thing I love about that is so many times you're taking a cruise and it ends in Paris, and all you see of Paris is the airport. So you kind of you finish off, you're in Paris and you just go home. And you're like, no, I want to explore it. So I love how Avalon, comes there a day or two before so that you can be fully immersed in your last port and just get to see that area as well. And I think that that's awesome.
That's exactly it, you know, and it's a wonderful, wonderful experience with Avalon Waterways. And of
Mhm.
course, booking through you, Kathleen.
Yes, yes, I'm there to guide all of you guys through every step and make it seamless for you as well. And I've got Hilary on speed dial. If you need anything, I can reach out to her as well. So it's kind of nice having these relationships with you guys because I know that my clients are well taken care of, and you just can't go wrong. It's just great.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you so much for putting all that together. That was lovely, and I loved seeing all of Paris in that way and those great destinations. With so many choices, though, you almost want to do a back to back and do something different the second time. Even though you're going back to the same destination, you're still seeing it in a different way. And I think that that would be a cool thing to do too, just to kind of do a back to back and be fully immersed in each port stop.
Well, and that's a great option as well, Kathleen.
Yeah.
You know, Paris is one, you know, Amsterdam, Paris,
Mhm.
in on the Rhine is one of our, you know, most popular stops with Avalon Waterways. That you're right, you could do a back to back and do a completely different itinerary.
Yeah, yeah,
You could do, you
absolutely.
know, on the Rhine, romantic Rhine, you can do it back to back. There's
Mhm.
great promotions going on as well, of course. We've got some great Christmas time cruises. So again, there's a lot of options out there for your clients.
Those Christmas markets are calling my name. Let me tell you, I really want to do one of those, and I think that that would be a lot of fun to do as well. So that's
Oh,
neat. Good
absolutely.
options
Maybe
here.
that's our
Yeah,
next presentation.
there you go. It's already planned. Perfect. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. So I look forward to seeing you guys next week, and I hope you all have a great week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this week's cruise chat with Hilary. It was really neat to see that great itinerary, to see all of the activities that you can do at each port stop. I love how you can stay longer in Paris because, I mean, it's Paris, right? You want to be able to stay longer. There's so much to see and do. And to have those extra days there is just a really great way to do it. I like that instead of just, stopping at the end and hitting the airport. I really love the idea of that. And the other thing that just blows me away with Avalon Waterways is how they've turned in the stateroom so that you're facing the outside. When you wake up in the morning, you've got those gorgeous views of the rivers of Europe. And it's just none of the other cruise lines seem to have that configuration in the room. And I really like how it created the space a little bit larger. And not only that, but it made it so that you're seeing what you're there for. I just think it's a phenomenal way to do it. And I hope that you guys really enjoyed it as well. Next week, I'm going to be meeting with Explorer Journeys, and we are going to be going over some of their really, really exciting new destinations that they have. And I am very excited to meet with Patricia. I love Explorer Journeys. And in fact, I even created a fan page, Explorer Journeys fan page, that you could head on over and check it out. It's on Facebook, and I really would love you to join it. It's a great community that we have, and we talk everything Explorer Journeys. And there's just so much new to see and do there that I really want to create a fan page. So come join us there. I look forward to meeting you there. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's chat. I will see you next week when I meet with Explorer, or I'll see you on board. See you guys soon. Bye.